Hi, today I want to talk about me feeling incredibly immature in a situation. And if you watched any of my videos, you know I had my first crush at 19, which is now. By the way, got from another week at the base back home for 2 days now. So it went like that. Uh, of course, I have my profession at the military. The name is kind of, if I have to translate it to English, it would be, um, in my English, it's like, in my hip, in my language, it's basically, it is called education mashak. I'm basically responsible for everything educational in the unit. Not really, it's not actually education. I'm basically there to plan plan the fun time for the soldiers. And for this, to have this role, first, when I first deployed, when you do the initial training for just straight up being a soldier, I went to there is this huge base where like a bunch of specific a bunch of specific roles in the military are being trained at that base, and my specific role was trained there. It was basically a course. We were 100 soldiers, all basically the same age. It was, I think, of course, it's education, so there are going to be more girls than boys. I think we were like, it was like 70-30. That was maybe 60-40. That was the split. And there was this, by the way, it was a really long course. It was like 3 months. 3 months. That's insane. So there was this one girl. Yeah, okay. So this one girl, black hair, really short. I'm not that short. Well, I think I'm like 181. It's barely 6 feet. She was really short. Actually, there were a lot of short. Not getting into that, but there were a lot of short. Probably the shortest person I've ever seen in my life was in this course. It was a girl. She was I think she was like sub 140, which is really short. I don't know how to convert it to feet because I'm using the superior metric system. But yeah, it was really short. It was actually very weird. So I met her, I think like a month into the course. I started to like actually open up and talk about myself with other people. It took forever. Basically the only people, the only people I would talk to about like anything that was anything were my roommates. We were 8 roommates at each room. Yeah, there was a separate building for the boys and the girls. So yeah, at some point I started talking to this girl. She's really cute. We we talked about anime. She was, I think, the first girl ever I talked to, like in regard to like the things I like to watch, the things she likes to read and watch. I'm talking about Digimon, she talks about Berserk. Perfect. And it got to a point where you had to be there. But basically, the way the course work, it was, there are basically classes every couple of hours. And between classes, you basically have nothing to do, and because it's still military training, you're not allowed to just get on your phone and course YouTube for 5 hours a day. So what you had to do is you had to talk with other people, which I'm terrible at. So I just at some point connected with a bunch of people. To this day, 2 of my closest friends are just straight up from this course. Amazing people. And this one girl is probably, she would be like the third one. We talked about everything. We spent so long just walking the halls of the just education facility there at the base and just talking until our class started. we weren't at the same groups. It's not groups. It's like I don't know, but there were 12 groups. I was in group 9, and she wasn't in the same group as me. So when the class was over, we just immediately went to each other and started talking. It wasn't actually like that. We were talking to other people during that time, but you had to be there. We were talking a lot. And you had to understand, I still had 2 more months at this course, both of us. So it accumulated to just being a long ass time, because think about that. The course was Sunday to Friday. You come back, you go to the base at Sunday morning, and Friday really early morning you go home. So you had Friday, Saturday home, and then you go back. So basically, not basically, full 5 days a week you were there for 3 months. So at some point, one of my roommates came to me and asked me if there was a thing, because we were spending a lot of time together, and it was really nice because I got to like show her the people I like to hang out with at the course, and she showed me hers. Super fun. There I actually learned that a good way to meet other people is to just meet one person. It happened to me 3 times. I just met one person, and he just extended my site to just so many others. It sounds stupid because it's only 100 people, but you would be surprised how varied 100 people can be, because we are all from the same country, but it's all from like separate parts, like the East Coast and the East and the West and like the big city. Someone would come from like a town. So it was really nice. Other than that, time goes by, and we can just keep talking forever. And so what he asked me, this the friend in the my roommate, he asked me if there was a thing. I of course said no. If you asked her, she would also say no. And that brings me to my point. Being immature. What I consider being immature is basically so many ways to say that. Not getting social cues. That would be the first thing that comes to my mind. And social cues, of course, also it's in regard to like signs that someone is interested in you. And I feel like I would not know how to recognize that. And that would lead me to nowadays, where basically my profession, my everyone in the military that has my job at their unit, at most units, most bases they have one of me. Education mashak. Mashak is a name code to like someone that has a specific job. Some bases have 2, but most of them have just 1. It's a role for one person to do. And because we have the same job, by the way, like no, so a really significant order was dropped on all of us to do something, and I was just texting to a bunch of people, to a bunch of my friends, because it's nice because we are all doing the same job. So like giving advice there, helping out there, it's very nice. And then I was thinking I should probably ask her how she's doing, because maybe she needs help, maybe she can provide me some help, because I'm still kind of struggling in certain aspects of this order. So I just asked her, hey, are you I actually just not in those words, because it wasn't English. Are you alive? Like I was basically asking her, are you doing well? And she replied, I think like a couple of hours later, and like, first of all, it wasn't like we haven't spoken in a long time, because I told you, like, she was one of the three people that I was actually keeping in contact with even after the course. So it wasn't the first time I talked to her after the course. By the way, now I'm like 4 months. Yeah, 4 months exactly after the course was over. No, I'm stupid. Yeah, 4 months after the course is over now. So I asked her, and this one question led us to talk. I have never sent so many WhatsApp messages to anyone in the course of a week. I am telling you, my words per second on a keyboard improved from this week, just because like we would have long conversations, and because of something now, I'm actually a bit more time at home. So, and she as well, because again, in the military, basically what happens is like there are certain things that would affect certain people that have like a very specific role in the military, and we have the same role. So she's at home and I'm at home, and we're just talking about jobs sometimes about just shows we like to watch, basically everything. She sent me a cookbook because she knows I'm terrible at cooking. I can basically cook two things, one of them being salmon, my favorite fish, amazing. And what was the second one? And mashed potatoes. Those are the two only things. And she likes to bake. And she sent me, her little sister had a birthday, and she baked her a cake with, I don't even know how you do that. It's like from a special type of dough. She just made deco and put it on top. And really funny, because last year when I turned 18, my family did the same thing, just made a cake and then put a edible Vegito figure on top of it, and like we matched, and like, oh my god, I want to know how to do that, because I actually want to do something similar for my sister, with Iron Man. And that's where the title of this video comes from. I need to know if I'm being incredibly immature, or am I being reasonable? She asked me over to cook with her. Now, you need to understand it from my point of view. I have been talking to this girl for more than half a year now. And the last week especially, she asked me twice to go with her somewhere. What I just mentioned, and after 2 days of us talking just a lot, she just said, we live really close together, but to each other. We live basically, I think it would be like a 5 to 7 minute ride in a car, to just each other. So she said, wow, we like, she said like, we need to get, wow, okay. We need to come by once. Maybe like go drink coffee. I don't drink coffee, but like when you just sit down and like have a drink together and like talk, because we were chit-chatting a lot. There was some gossip there about some certain things we don't like about the military, about the specific role we play. So she basically invited me over somewhere twice. And I don't know, because I've never been in anything near this situation that I actually have to think about, like, oh my god, is she actually interested in me? And it's painful for me to say, because if it's not the case, am I just the biggest asshole ever conceived? Like, because I bet you if I will tell it to like most people, they would just see it as a normal human interaction, and I don't know, because And I'm so talking about it because I have people I would like to share it with, but literally just them looking at me weird and like saying, you're just an asshole. She's not interested or anything. Like she's just a normal human trying to like meet up with you. Like, and I don't know what to think. Like, is it something or is it or isn't or is it anything? Or is it nothing? Because it's one of these two and I do not know. Because I do like her. I would like to go on a date because she's just a super nice person. She is probably one of the people I have the most fun talking with. So help me. I don't know because I feel like I don't even know if to say yes. Both times I don't even know if she's like being super like serious with that, like, because the way she was typing it makes it look like maybe she's just saying, oh my god, wow, we are talking so much, let's like meet together and like talk even more. And I don't know how to I don't know how to express that, but like there was a hint of like just maybe over exaggerating the situation, but just because it's like it's messages and like, oh wow, we are like we talked so much, let's just meet up and talk even more. I don't know, but that's everything. That's everything I had to say. Yes. Please, I don't know what to do. I start feeling like that 2 days ago when she asked me the second time. Yeah, so that's it. Bye bye.